The lights on the small transport ship flickered. Captain Kang gripped the arms of his chair, his knuckles white. "Play the warning again," he ordered. His voice was steady, but his eyes darted to every shadow in the cockpit. Officer Bai nodded and tapped the screen. A red border appeared around the message as it played. "This is an emergency alert from the Galactic Council. All ships are warned to avoid Sector 9A. The entity known as the Shade Beast has been spotted in this region. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill." Bai switched off the message and looked at his captain. "Sir, we're already in Sector 9A. "I know," Kang said. "Increase speed. We need to get to Hanbit 7 station as fast as possible." The ship's engines hummed louder as they pushed through the darkness of space. Stars streaked past the viewports. "Sir," Ba said quietly, "what exactly is the Shade Beast?" Captain Kane's face grew dark. "You're new to deep space, aren't you?" Ba nodded. "The Shade Beast is the reason seasoned space travelers check under their beds at night," Kang said. "It's killed more beings across 3 galaxies than any war or disaster in the last century." Ba swallowed hard. "Is it an animal?" "No one knows for sure. Some say it evolved in the void between stars. Others think it was made as a weapon during the old wars." Kang leaned forward. "What we do know is that it's smart. Smarter than most predators. It can break into ships and stations. It can survive in space without protection. And it seems to enjoy the hunt." The ship's computer chimed, showing they were nearing Hanbit 7. "The first confirmed sighting was 40 years ago," Kang continued. "A luxury cruise ship went dark near the Orion Arm. When rescue teams arrived, they found everyone dead. The ship's cameras caught glimpses of something moving in the shadows, something that could change its shape and color." "Like a chameleon?" Bai asked. "Much worse. This thing can become almost invisible. The only warning is a slight distortion in the air, like heat rising from hot ground." Kang pointed to a screen showing Hanbit 7 growing larger as they approached. After that first attack, similar reports came in from across the galaxy. Always the same pattern. A ship or small outpost goes quiet, and by the time help arrives, it's too late. Ba's face had gone pale. "Has anyone ever killed it?" Kang laughed without humor. "The Tarkin military sent their best squad after it 10 years ago. 12 elite soldiers with the best weapons money could buy. Only one made it back, and he died babbling about eyes in the darkness. Said the thing could heal itself almost instantly." The captain pulled up a file on his screen and turned it so Bai could see. On it was the largest bounty either of them had ever seen. "The Galactic Council wants it dead or captured. 10 billion credits, enough to buy your own moon." "Has anyone ever come close?" Bai asked. "There was a hunter about 5 years back. Got closer than anyone. Said he managed to wound it with some special weapon he'd made. But in the end," Kang drew a finger across his throat. The ship's computer announced their arrival at Hanbit 7. The small space station hung against the blackness, its lights blinking in patterns that signaled all was well. It was shaped like a wheel with 7 spokes connecting to a central hub. Solar panels stretched out like delicate wings. "Let's hope it stays that way." Kang opened a channel to the station. "Hanbit 7, this is transport ship Miracle requesting permission to dock." A woman's voice answered. "This is Hanbit 7 Control Officer Han Minji. Permission granted, Miracle. You're cleared for docking Bay 3. As they approached the station, Bai noticed something strange about one section of the outer hull. A panel was slightly discolored, as if it had been replaced recently. "Captain, look at that panel. Was there damage to the station?" Kang frowned. "Nothing in the reports." He zoomed in with the ship's cameras. Probably just routine maintenance. The transport ship eased into the docking bay, magnetic clamps securing it in place. After the airlock cycle completed, Captain Kang and Officer Ba stepped onto Hanbit 7. Control Officer Han Minji greeted them with a crisp salute. "Welcome to Hanbit 7, gentlemen. Your cargo is expected. Our mechanic will help unload. Thank you, Kang said. By the way, we received a warning about the Shade Beast being spotted in this sector. Have you had any unusual incidents? Minji's professional smile faltered for just a moment. Nothing to report, Captain. Handbit 7 is perfectly secure. As she spoke, the station's lights dimmed briefly before returning to normal. Minji's smile returned, wider than before. Just a power fluctuation. Our mechanic is working on it. Nothing to worry about. But Captain Kang noticed she was gripping her tablet so tightly that her fingers were white. Deep in the lower levels of Handbit 7, Park Jun worked alone in his workshop. The room was large but crowded with tools, spare parts, and half-fixed machines. The only sounds were the soft hum of the station and the click of Jun's tools as he fixed a small drone. Jun was not a big man. His hands were rough from years of work, and his face showed lines around his eyes. His black hair was cut short, and his blue work uniform had many pockets, all filled with tools. There, he said to himself as he closed the drone's panel. Now try to fly. The drone rose into the air, its lights blinking green. It hovered for a moment, then landed softly on the workbench. Jun nodded, pleased with his work. The door to his workshop slid open. Officer Han Minji stood there, looking worried despite her calm voice. Jun, we need you in Docking Bay 3. A transport ship just arrived with parts for the station. Can you help unload? Jun put down his tools and stood up. Of course. As they walked through the station's corridors, Minji spoke in a low voice. There's another power problem in Section 4. The lights keep going out. I'll check it after I finish in the docking bay, Jun said calmly. And there's something else. Minji hesitated. The transport's captain mentioned a warning about the Shade Beast in this sector. Jun's face showed no fear, just mild interest. The Shade Beast. That's rare. Minji stared at him. Rare? That's all you can say. The deadliest creature in the galaxy might be nearby, and you think it's rare. Jun shrugged. Fear doesn't fix problems. This was how Jun approached everything. Growing up on Mars in the tough mining colony of New Busan, he had learned early that panic never helped. His parents had taught him to face problems with calm and skill. When a tunnel collapsed on the colony, killing 20 miners including his father, 10-year-old Jun had helped repair the oxygen systems while others cried or ran. Now, at 35, Jun had worked on ships and stations across the galaxy. He had seen vacuum leaks, reactor failures, and alien attacks. None had made him lose his calm. They reached Docking Bay 3, where Captain Kang and Officer Bai were supervising the unloading of large metal crates. This is our mechanic, Park Jun, Minji said. Captain Kang looked at Jun with curious eyes. You're the only mechanic on the station. Yes, said Jun, but I handle everything. He's the best, Minji added. If it's broken, Jun can fix it. Jun moved to the crates and began checking the shipping logs. As he worked, Captain Kang spoke quietly to Minji, but Jun could still hear them. Those power fluctuations you mentioned, how long have they been happening? Just a few days, Minji said. Nothing serious. And that replaced hull panel we saw on approach. Micro-meteor damage last month. Jun fixed it. Jun continued working, but he knew Minji wasn't telling the whole truth. The power problems had started 2 weeks ago, not a few days, and the hull damage wasn't from a meteor. Jun had replaced that panel after finding strange marks on it, marks that looked like claw scratches. As Jun moved a heavy crate onto a loader, he noticed a dark spot on the floor. He bent down to look closer. It was a small puddle of thick, black liquid. He touched it with his finger. It was warm and had a strange shimmer, like oil, but not quite. What's that? Officer Bai asked, coming up behind him. Jun wiped his finger on a rag. Probably just hydraulic fluid from your ship. But he knew it wasn't. He had seen every kind of fluid used in ships and stations, and none looked like this. Later, After the transport crew left to rest in their quarters, Jun returned to the docking bay. He followed a trail of small black droplets that led from the bay into a maintenance tunnel. The tunnel was dark, with only emergency lights casting red shadows. Jun turned on his wrist light and walked deeper into the tunnel. The trail ended at a junction where several tunnels met. Jun looked in all directions but saw nothing strange. Then he felt it. A change in the air. Not a sound or movement, but a presence. Someone, or something, was watching him. No answer came, but Jun knew he wasn't alone. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small tool. It was just a simple screwdriver, but it fit comfortably in his hand. "I'm not looking for trouble," he said to the darkness. "I'm just fixing the station. That's my job." For a moment, Jun thought he saw a shimmer in the air, like heat waves rising from hot metal. Then it was gone. Jun stood still for a long time, watching and waiting. Finally, he put the screwdriver back in his pocket. "Well," he said to the empty tunnel, "I still have to check those lights in Section 4. And without showing any fear, Park Jun turned his back on the darkness and walked away, his footsteps echoing in the quiet tunnel. 3 days after the transport ship arrived, strange things began to happen on Hambit 7. The power went out in different parts of the station at random times. Food disappeared from the kitchen storage, and worst of all, the station's communication system would cut out for hours, leaving them unable to contact other stations or ships. Captain Kim Do-yoon, the head of the station, called an emergency meeting. All 12 staff members gathered in the main control room. "Something is wrong with our station," Captain Kim said. His voice was firm, but his eyes showed worry. "Officer Han, what have you found on the security cameras?" Minji stood up. "Sir, the cameras show nothing unusual, but they keep turning off in certain areas. When they come back on, things are different." "Different how?" asked Dr. Lee Suk, the station's medical officer. "Items moved. Doors that were closed are open, and there are marks on some walls and floors." Minji pulled up images on the main screen. They showed strange scratches on metal walls. Everyone was quiet as they looked at the images. Then a voice spoke from the back of the room. "Those aren't random marks," said Park Jun. "They're deliberate." All eyes turned to the mechanic. "What do you mean, Jun?" asked Captain Kim. Jun walked to the screen and pointed to the pattern of scratches. "See how they form a pattern. 3 lines, then 2, then 3 again. That's not damage from something hitting the wall. That's a message." The room grew very quiet. "A message from what?" Dr. Lee asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Before Jun could answer, the lights in the control room flickered and went out. The emergency lights came on, casting red shadows across the worried faces. "Everyone stay calm," Captain Kim ordered. "Jun, can you fix this?" "I'll check the power relay in Cargo Bay 6, Jun said. "That's where the problem started last time." "I'll send security with you," Minji offered. "No need," Jun said. "If the power's out, you need your security here to protect the control room." Captain Kim nodded. "Be careful, Jun. Report in every 15 minutes." Jun left the control room and walked through the dim corridors of Hambit 7. The emergency lights gave just enough light to see. He made his way down to the lower level where the large cargo bay was located. The cargo bay doors slid open with a hiss. Inside, the room was vast and filled with crates and equipment. The ceiling was high, with pipes and cables running across it. In the red emergency lighting, the shadows seemed deeper and darker. Jun walked to the power relay panel and opened it. He shined his wrist light on the circuits inside. Everything looked normal, but the power was clearly off. "Strange," he said to himself. "The problem must be somewhere else." That's when he heard it, a soft scraping sound, like something heavy being dragged across the floor. It came from the far corner of the cargo bay, hidden in shadows. Any other person would have called for help or run away. But Jun wasn't any other person. He closed the panel and walked towards the sound. "Hello," he called. "Is someone there?" The scraping stopped. Silence filled the cargo bay. June kept walking, moving deeper into the shadows. His wrist light cut through the darkness, showing empty space between crates. Then his light caught something, a shimmer in the air, like looking through clear water. The shimmer moved, growing larger and taking shape. It was the size of two men, with a long body and limbs that ended in sharp points. Its skin changed colors, trying to match the darkness around it. But in the beam of June's light, he could see it clearly now. The shape had no eyes that June could see, but he knew it was looking at him. This was the Shade Beast, the killer that had destroyed ships and stations, the hunter that everyone in the galaxy feared. The beast moved closer to June, its form shifting and changing. It made no sound, but June could feel its attention fixed on him like a physical weight. Most people would feel terror. Their hearts would race. Their bodies would freeze or run. Fear would take over, but not Park June. He looked at the deadly creature and felt something different, curiosity. Here was something broken in a way, something wrong that maybe needed fixing. The Shade Beast moved closer still. Now it was just a few steps away from June. Its body tensed, ready to attack. June did something that surprised even himself. He turned his back on the beast, walked to a nearby crate, and sat down. Then he pulled out his tools and began working on a small device he'd been fixing earlier. "I know you're there," he said calmly, not looking up from his work. "You can kill me if you want. But right now, I need to fix this communicator. People are waiting for the power to come back on." The Shade Beast didn't move. It stayed perfectly still, watching this strange human who showed no fear. Minutes passed. June continued working on the device. The beast continued watching. Finally, June looked up. "The power relay isn't broken. You turned it off, didn't you? Why?" The Shade Beast tilted what seemed to be its head. Then it moved to the side, revealing what was behind it, a torn open panel with wires pulled out. "Ah," said June, nodding. "You were looking for something." As if in answer, the lights in the cargo bay suddenly came back on. The Shade Beast's form wavered, becoming nearly invisible in the bright light. Then it moved fast, disappearing into the shadows between the crates. June sat alone now, his tools still in his hands. He smiled slightly. "Interesting," he said to the empty room. "Very interesting." Park June knew he was being followed. For 2 days after the meeting in the cargo bay, he felt the presence of the Shade Beast nearby. When he worked in tight spaces fixing pipes, he saw the air shimmer behind him. When he ate alone in the small kitchen at night, he heard soft sounds from the air vents above. But Jum did not tell anyone. He did not call security. He just kept working as usual. On the 3rd day, Captain Kim called another meeting. This time, his face was very serious. "We have a problem," Captain Kim said. "Last night, something broke into our weapons locker. 3 laser cutters and a plasma torch are missing." Minji stood up, her hand on her gun. "Sir, we need to search the whole station. This is sabotage." Captain Kim nodded. "Officer Han will lead search teams through all sections. Everyone will travel in groups of at least 3 people. No one walks alone until we find who did this." Dr. Lee raised her hand. "Captain, do you think it could be the Shade Beast? The warning said it was in this sector." The room grew quiet. Some people looked scared, others doubtful. "We can't rule anything out," Captain Kim said carefully. "But let's not jump to conclusions. It could be a malfunction or even someone playing a bad joke." June sat quietly at the back, thinking about the missing tools. He knew exactly who had taken them, and he was pretty sure he knew why. After the meeting, everyone paired up as ordered. June was put with 2 security officers to check the lower maintenance decks. They walked through narrow corridors, looking in every room and closet. "I need to check the air recycling system," June told the officers. "It's a tight space. You 2 wait here. I'll just be a minute." Before they could argue, June slipped through a small door into the recycling room. Inside, huge fans moved air through filters. The noise was loud, and the space was cramped with pipes and machinery. June pretended to check a control panel. Then he spoke without turning around. "I know you're here," he said loudly enough to be heard over the fans. "And I know you took the tools." For a moment, nothing happened. Then the air shimmered next to a large pipe. The shade beast appeared, its body changing from the color of the walls to its natural dark, shifting form. "The plasma torch won't work for what you need," Jun said calmly. "It's too hot. It will damage the thing you're trying to cut." The beast moved closer. Now Jun could see it better. Its body was long and sleek, built for hunting. Its skin changed colors and textures, a perfect camouflage. Where a head would be, there was a smooth area with no visible eyes, but Jun could feel it watching him. "You're not here to hurt us, are you?" Jun asked. "You're looking for something." The shade beast moved its front limb. Jun saw it was holding the stolen plasma torch. With a sudden movement, it placed the torch on the ground in front of Jun. "You want me to help you?" Jun asked. The beast made no sound, but it moved its body in a way that seemed like a nod. Before Jun could say more, he heard the security officers calling him. "I have to go," he said quickly. "Come to my workshop tonight. 3rd level, room 12. I'll help you." The shade beast's form melted into the shadows as Jun left the recycling room. That night, Jun sat alone in his workshop. Despite the rule about staying in groups, he had told Captain Kim he needed to fix an urgent problem with the station's water system. The captain trusted Jun and let him go. Jun laid out his tools on the workbench. He wasn't sure if the shade beast would come or what it wanted, but he waited patiently. At exactly midnight, the workshop door slid open. No one was there, but Jun knew better. "You can come in," he said. "No one will bother us here." The air shimmered, and the shade beast appeared. It moved slowly into the room, its body changing to match the colors and shadows around it. It stayed near the door, as if ready to run if needed. "You wanted my help," Jun said. "Show me what you need." The beast moved closer to the workbench. From somewhere on its body, it produced a small metal object. It placed the object in front of Jun. Jun picked it up. It was a small device, about the size of his thumb. It had strange markings and a blinking red light. "What is this?" Jun asked, turning it over in his hands. The shade beast made a movement with its limb, pointing to its own body. Then it made a motion like something being cut out. Jun understood. "It's inside you. You want me to remove it." The beast made the nodding motion again. "Is it tracking you? Is that why you came to the station?" "To find someone who could remove it." The shade beast moved closer to Jun, its form shifting slightly. For a moment, Jun thought he saw what might be scars on its body, marks from previous injuries that even its amazing healing couldn't fully fix. Jun looked at the small device, then at the tools on his bench. "I can try to help you," he said, "but I need to understand more about this thing and where exactly it is in your body." The beast moved even closer, now standing right next to Jun. It was a position that would make most humans scream in terror, but Jun just looked at it with interest and a mechanic's eye for problems that needed fixing. "Well," he said, picking up a scanner, "let's see what we're dealing with." The scanner in Jun's hand hummed as he moved it over the shade beast's body. The creature stood very still, allowing the human to examine it. On the small screen, Jun could see inside the beast's strange body. "There it is," he said, pointing to a spot on the screen. "The device is deep in what I think is your back. It has small hooks that grip your tissue. It won't be easy to remove." The shade beast made a movement that seemed to show pain. For the first time, Jun heard it make a sound, a soft hissing noise. "It hurts you," Jun said. It wasn't a question. The beast nodded in that strange way. Jun put down the scanner and looked directly at where he thought the creature's face might be. Before I help you, I need to understand. Why did they put this in you? Why are you hunted? The shade beast was still for a long moment. Then it reached out one sharp limb and touched the workbench. Its claw left marks in the metal. 3 lines, then 2, then 3, just like the marks June had seen on the station walls. June watched as the beast made more marks. Slowly, a pattern formed. It was crude, but June could make out a picture of stars and what looked like a cage. You were captured, June said slowly. They caught you and did something to you. The shade beast made another mark, a larger shape around the stars and cage. A ship, June realized. They kept you on a ship for study. June was piecing it together now. You escaped, but they put this tracker in you first. They've been hunting you ever since. The beast's body shifted colors, turning a deep blue that almost glowed in the dim workshop light. June somehow knew this meant yes. June closed his eyes, thinking back to the stories about the shade beast, the deadly hunter that killed without mercy, the monster that destroyed ships and stations. You were just trying to stay free, he said quietly. You attacked because they were hunting you. The shade beast's colors shifted again, swirling in patterns of blue and green. It reached out another limb and made a new mark on the bench, a simple shape that looked like a human figure. They look like me. Humans were the ones who captured you. The beast's colors darkened to almost black. Yes. Now June understood why the creature had been so confused by him. It expected all humans to be enemies, to attack or run in fear. But June had done neither. I'm not like them, June said. I won't hurt you. I fix things that are broken. I can try to fix this. Just then, there was a knock at the workshop door. The shade beast instantly disappeared, its form blending perfectly with the shadows behind the workbench. June, are you in there? It was Dr. Lee Sook's voice. Yes, doctor. What do you need? June called, moving to block the view of his workbench. The door slid open, and Dr. Lee stepped in. She was small with kind eyes, but right now those eyes looked worried. It's late. You shouldn't be working alone. She looked around the workshop. Captain's orders, remember. I'm almost done, June said. Just fixing the water recycler control module. Dr. Lee looked at him for a long moment. You've been acting strange, June. Is everything okay? Of course. Just busy with all the repairs. Dr. Lee stepped closer and lowered her voice. I've known you for 3 years. You never worry about anything. But now, you look concerned. June didn't answer right away. He liked and trusted Dr. Lee, but he couldn't tell her about the shade beast. Not yet. I'm fine, he said finally. Just tired. Well, there's more to worry about now, Dr. Lee said. A science team is arriving tomorrow. They're coming to investigate the unusual occurrences on the station. June felt a chill. What science team? Led by someone named Dr. No Hyun. They're specialists in alien biology and behavior. Dr. Lee looked around the workshop again. Captain Kim thinks they can help us figure out what's happening here. In the shadows behind June, there was the slightest shimmer of movement. The shade beast had heard every word. When do they arrive? June asked, trying to keep his voice calm. 800 hours tomorrow. Captain wants everyone at the docking bay to meet them. Dr. Lee turned to leave, then stopped at the door. Get some rest, June. And be careful. Whatever's on this station, I don't think it's friendly. After Dr. Lee left, the shade beast reappeared. Its colors were wild now, flashing reds and blacks. It moved around the workshop in agitation. Calm down, June said softly. I won't let them find you. The beast stopped moving and looked at June. Its colors settled into a questioning pattern of purple and blue. Yes, I'll help you, June said. Tonight, we need to remove that tracker before the science team arrives. June began gathering his tools, fine cutters, probes, healing gel, and a small laser scalpel he used for precision work on delicate circuits. This will hurt, he warned. But if that team finds you with their equipment, The shade beast moved closer to June and laid its long body across the workbench. Its color shifted to a calm, steady green. Trust. June put on his work goggles and gloves. Let's begin. Outside the workshop, unknown to both of them, Dr. Lee Suk stood listening at the door. Her face showed confusion and concern as she heard June talking to someone who never answered. The science team's ship docked at Hambit 7 at exactly 800 hours. Captain Kim, Officer Han, and all station crew stood in a line to greet them. June stood at the end of the line, dark circles under his eyes from working all night. 5 people walked off the ship. They wore special black uniforms with many pockets and the Galactic Science Division logo. Their leader was a tall, thin woman with sharp eyes and short gray hair. "Welcome to Hambit 7, Dr. No," Captain Kim said with a small bow. "We're grateful for your help." Dr. No Hyun did not smile. "Captain Kim, I'll need full access to your station, all security recordings, and a private room for my equipment." "Of course, Doctor. Officer Han will show you to the conference room. We've prepared it for your team." Dr. No looked down the line of crew members. Her eyes stopped on June. "And who is this?" she asked. "Park June, our mechanic," Captain Kim said. Dr. No walked over to June. She stood very close and looked at his face. "You look tired. Mechanic Park," she said. "Working hard." "Yes, Doctor," June said simply. Dr. No took something from her pocket. It was a small device that looked like a pen. She held it up near June's face. It made a soft beeping sound. "Interesting," she said, looking at the device. "Very interesting." Before June could ask what she meant, Dr. No turned back to Captain Kim. "Let's begin. I don't like to waste time." In the conference room, Dr. No set up her equipment. There were screens, scanners, and strange devices that June had never seen before. One machine looked like a large metal box with lights and antennas. "This is a biosignature detector," Dr. No told Captain Kim. "It can find any life form on this station, even if it's hiding." June felt a cold fear in his stomach. Last night, he had removed the tracker from the shade beast. It had been difficult and painful for the creature, but they had done it. June had hidden the tracker in his quarters, inside a lead box that blocked its signal. But if Dr. No's machine could find the shade beast itself, how does it work? June asked, trying to sound just curious. Dr. No gave him a long look. "It reads energy patterns, heat, and movement. No living thing can hide from it." She turned to her team. "Set up detection units in every section of the station. Start with the lower levels." Over the next few hours, Dr. No's team placed small devices throughout Hambit 7. They looked like simple black boxes, but June knew they were really traps. If the shade beast went near one, it would be detected. June needed to warn the creature, but he couldn't find a way to slip away. Dr. No kept him close, asking him questions about the station's layout and the strange events. "And you've seen nothing unusual yourself?" she asked for the 3rd time. "No, Doctor," June lied. "Just the power problems and some strange marks on the walls." Dr. No smiled, but her eyes were cold. "You know, Mechanic Park, the shade beast is a very valuable specimen. The reward for its capture is significant." "I'm just a mechanic," June said. "I fix things." "Everyone has their price," Dr. No said. "Remember that." Finally, in the late afternoon, June found his chance. Dr. No was meeting with Captain Kim and Officer Han, planning a station-wide search. June told them he needed to check a faulty airlock on level 5. As soon as he was alone, June ran to his workshop. He had told the shade beast to hide there, in a secret space behind the main tool cabinet. "Are you here?" he whispered, closing the door behind him. The air shimmered, and the shade beast appeared. Its colors were dull and gray. June had learned this meant pain or worry. "You need to leave the station," June said quickly. "They have machines that can find you no matter how well you hide." The shade beast's colors shifted to red and orange. "Anger. I know. They tricked us, Jun said. The tracker removal was too easy. They must have known you would try to get it out. That's why they sent Dr. No so quickly. The creature moved around the workshop, its sharp limbs making soft clicking sounds on the floor. Listen to me, Jun said urgently. There's a small maintenance ship in Docking Bay 4. I can program it to take you away from here. You'll be safe. The shade beast stopped moving. Its colors changed to show a question. No, I can't come with you, Jun said. They would know I helped you, but I can give you time to escape. Suddenly, an alarm blared throughout the station. A voice came over the speakers, Dr. No's voice. Attention all personnel. We have detected an unauthorized life form on level 3. Security teams, move in now. The rest of you, lock yourselves in the nearest secure room. The shade beast's colors flashed bright red. It moved toward the door. No, not that way, Jun said. They'll be coming from both ends of the corridor. Jun rushed to a wall panel and pulled it open. Behind it was a narrow maintenance tunnel. This way. It leads to the docking bay. The shade beast hesitated, then moved to the tunnel entrance. Before entering, it turned back to Jun. Slowly, carefully, it reached out one sharp limb and touched Jun's hand. The touch was gentle, not cutting his skin. Jun understood. Go. I'll try to slow them down. The creature disappeared into the tunnel. Jun replaced the panel and turned to face the workshop door just as it slid open. Officer Han stood there with 2 security guards, all holding weapons. Jun, Minji said, looking relieved. Are you okay? Did you see anything? No, Jun said calmly. What's happening? Dr. No's machines found something on this level. We need to check every room. Jun nodded and stepped aside as the security team searched his workshop. He watched them carefully, praying that the shade beast was far away by now. But then he heard Dr. No's voice from the corridor. It's moving toward Docking Bay 4. All teams there now. Jun's heart sank. The hunt had begun. Jun ran through the corridors of Hambit 7, pushing past crew members. Alarms blared. Red emergency lights flashed on and off. Ahead of him, he could hear shouting from Docking Bay 4. When he reached the docking bay, Jun stopped at the entrance. Inside, Dr. No stood with her team. They had set up a circle of small devices on the floor. The devices glowed with blue light, creating what looked like a force field. Inside the circle was the shade beast. It moved back and forth, touching the force field and pulling back as if in pain. Its colors flashed red and black. It was trapped. A perfect specimen, Dr. No said, watching the creature. Worth every credit we spent tracking it. Officer Han stood nearby with her security team, weapons ready. Captain Kim was there too, looking worried. Dr. No, Captain Kim said, what exactly do you plan to do with this creature? Study it, of course, Dr. No replied. The shade beast has abilities we don't understand. Imagine soldiers who could change color like it does, or healing abilities that could save lives. You're going to experiment on it, Jun said from the doorway. Everyone turned to look at him. Dr. No's eyes narrowed. Mechanic Park. How nice of you to join us. Jun walked slowly into the docking bay, looking at the trapped shade beast. It had stopped moving and was watching him. It's alive, Jun said. It feels pain. It thinks. You can't just cut it open like a machine. Dr. No laughed. It's killed hundreds of people. It's a monster. It was defending itself, Jun said. You hunted it. You put a tracker in it. Of course it fought back. Captain Kim looked confused. Jun, what are you talking about? How do you know these things? Before Jun could answer, one of Dr. No's team members spoke up. Doctor, the containment field is ready for transport. We should move the specimen to our ship now. Good, Dr. No said. Prepare the sedation gas. The team member pressed buttons on a small device. Green gas began to fill the force field circle. The shade beast's movements became slower as it breathed in the gas. June couldn't stand it anymore. He saw the pain in the creature's changing colors. He saw its freedom being taken away. Without thinking, he ran forward and kicked one of the small devices forming the force field. The device skidded across the floor. The blue light flickered and went out on that side. The force field had a gap now. "Stop him," Dr. No shouted. Officer Han moved quickly. She grabbed June's arm and pulled him back. But it was too late. The Shadebeast had seen the gap in the force field. It moved fast, despite the sedation gas. In one smooth motion, it slipped through the opening. "Shoot it," Dr. No ordered. The security team fired their weapons. Energy blasts hit the walls and floor as the Shadebeast moved faster than they could aim. Its form blurred as it dodged between people. In the confusion, no one saw Dr. No pull out a small gun from her pocket. No one except June. "Watch out," he shouted as Dr. No aimed at the escaping Shadebeast. Without thinking, June broke free from Officer Han and threw himself in front of Dr. No's gun. There was a loud crack, and June felt a sharp pain in his shoulder. He fell to the floor, his vision blurry. He heard shouts and running feet. Through the pain, he saw Dr. No standing over him, her face angry. "Fool," she said, "it's worth millions. Your life means nothing compared to it." She raised her gun again, but then stopped. Her eyes widened in fear. Behind her, the air shimmered. The Shadebeast had not escaped. It had circled back. Dr. No turned slowly, but she was too late. The Shadebeast's sharp limb knocked the gun from her hand. Another limb pushed her away from June. She fell hard and didn't move.